Welcome. I am the one and only MSJ, Max for short, and welcome to my YouTube channel. It is October 1st, 2022. You know what that means. It is day one of the 31 Days of Fright horror movie project, year 11. I can't believe I've been doing this for 11 years, and I wasn't going to do it in the 11th year, but I decided once I decided that I was going to do another year, I wanted to start off with a really good movie and support a local, do something really different. So I'm doing Experiment 53, an independent horror movie from right here in Indiana. But before I go any further into telling you what you need to know about this movie and how I watched this movie, I need you to do a few things by clicking subscribe, hitting that bell, leaving a like, leaving a comment, and sharing, because when you do all that stuff, helps you stay up to date for when future content goes live right here on this channel. And sharing my videos and leaving a like helps me get my channel and videos out there to a much broader audience. So with all that said, and one more thing, I want to wish everybody who is doing the 31 Days of Fright, horror, whatever, a very fruitful and spooky October, because I'm filming this a couple days before October 1st. Spoilers there. So I'm not quite sure who's all doing it this year, but who's ever doing it and sees this, um, hope everything goes well for you this month. So, but anyways, back to talking about Experiment 53, directed by Thomas Peake, edited by Kyle Putra, starring Alyss Winkler. All of them, this movie is just fun. I watched this movie twice. So, full disclosure, I have been watching some of these classic horror movies in black and white. I've been turning the saturation down on the TV, and I had forgot to turn the color back on when I went to watch this movie. So my first viewing of this movie was in black and white, and I loved it. I loved the movie regardless, but it was a fun experience watching this particular movie in black and white. And then it's only an hour and 10 minutes, so it's a very brisk, very quick watch, and which I really love, because sometimes horror movies do tend to drag on and some things, but like this is a very quick watch. So I'm like, you know what, I'll watch it again, I'll watch it in color. And once again, it was a very drastic viewing experience, because there were some moments in the movie where some like the light changes to like this really cool deep red, and I didn't even didn't even really come across that in the black and white. And like at least um Winkler's like hair is like kind of a neon green, and so it's just like it's fun. And then our big baddie of the movie, Experiment 53, like he's covered in bandages and kind of has like just tubes and whatnot hanging off of him. And watching in a color, he has like this like kind of like reddish like bruising to him, and because he's been experimented on, and it kind of shows through. It's like watching it both ways. I love this movie regardless. So like I'm sorry that I watched it that way the first time around, but I did watch it in color, I promise, and I loved it in color and in black and white. Just fun, because I'm proud to have supported this movie. um it's fun, and I loved it. And I love the beginning of this movie, just the banter between the two characters of Kyle and Tom, who are also played by the director and editor of this movie. And so I really like that beginning of the movie. But I'm almost 5 minutes into this movie. I'm going to tell you what you need to know real quick. It's just about these three friends who are going out to the middle of the woods. And here in Indiana, when you say out in the middle of the woods, you're going to go out into the middle of the woods. And they're going to kind of speak to the dead and conjure up a spirit, because Brittany, played by Alyss Winkler, she recently lost somebody, I'm kind of assuming that, and she wants to talk to her mother or grandmother. I think it's grandmother. And they're just want to just talk to him. And that's kind of another point I'll get to in a second. But and then they just go off on this little road trip, and they kind of come across somebody who shouldn't have been messed with because they ran out of gas. And then Brittany is just trying to survive, and our couple of characters our two guys gets killed off fairly quickly, which I kind of expected, but I loved it anyways. And then she's just trying to survive, and this mad doctor's experiments, and and also like his little gang of little experiments. You get some kids, I'm assuming. You got our kind of like our lead henchman, Scourge. I hope I'm saying that right. He's pretty cool. It's like they're all designed, like all the outfits and everything for these experiments are done really cool, especially the experiment 53. Like, yeah, I mentioned already, just like his bandages and everything was just really cool. So, um, I'm just going to talk a little bit about like a little bit of everything. The acting was really good. I thought it was fantastic. It didn't take me out of the movie or anything. Um, it didn't really take me out of the movie or anything. The settings were really cool. Like the backwoods of Indiana. You got this kind of like this hospital, the mental asylum, which I really, really dug. I really like the look of that quite a bit, especially in black and white. That was really cool. I really, really loved that. But then watching it in color, I even loved it just as much. Just kind of really picking up the lighting and everything. What else is there to say about like it's not overly gory, but there is a cool decapitation in the movie, and the experiments is going pretty cool. And and like the Scourge, his main weapons are syringes, and so whatever is like coming out of the syringes is like kind of like goopy and pussy looking, and it's just like it's kind of very unsettling. And even the mask for these guys are for the experiments are kind of very unsettling as well. And so it's like it's awesome. So like I'm proud to have supported this movie. I really am. I'm proud to support some local filmmakers from here in Indiana. I loved it. I'm sorry that I watched it in black and white first. But I watched it in color. I promise. I really did, and I watched it. I loved it both ways, and it's really a good movie. So I do have a rating scale at the end of this movie. You got one best. It's your run of the mill horror movie. Nothing new, nothing special. You got best watch group. It's more than average horror, but adds nothing new to the horror community. You got four, more than average. But it helps move the horror genre forward, in 5 being a horror classic. Now, this is one of those rare ones that defy a rating, because I'm not quite sure how to rate it, because I'm really truly biased on it. If it was me, I would give it a 5, but I know some people will probably like really dog on it and whatever, but I loved it. Like that's all I really can say. It's like I recommend it. That's really what I will have to say about this one. I know later on I will have movies later on this month will have a definitive rating, but this one really is one of the few rare ones that I have throughout the years that like really don't really is unrateable, just because like I really don't know where to put it. But if I truly had to, I would say it's best watch with friends, because especially here in Indiana, it's like you can people like, oh, I know that kind of road, cornfield on both sides of the roads out in the middle of nowhere. So I understand. So that is all I have to say about this movie. I love it. Like I will mention this again, I'm a proud supporter of this movie and what they will be coming up, because they will have Rise of Experiment 53, and something else. I can't think of the other title, which I have it written down, but I can't find my notebook. But that is all. just I want to say a big thank you to the guys and cast at Night Art Productions for Experiment 53, and I can't wait to see Rise of Experiment 53. So can't wait to see that. So that is all. I am the one and only MSJ, Max for short, and all I can really say is thank you.